We're changing out this thermostat seal on a 1999 Malibu. It was doing a little bit of leaking earlier, so I'm going to swap that out. I'm going to summarize some of the steps you need to go through for this particular job. For starters, what I did is I took off these bolts here, holding this pipe down, and I took this one out as well, so you could basically lift this up and move this piece over here around at will. So to start the job off, what I did is I loosened this clamp here, and then loosened these two screws on the end of the throttle body and air filter box, and basically pull this off. And while I was doing that, of course, there's some plugs, electrical plugs, that needed to come out here and down there. And these are the various plugs that I took off with the job to be able to remove some of these pieces right here, and then also the actual carburetor itself. So once you get that pulled off, then there's bolts on the top and the bottom of the carburetor that you can eventually, where is it at? Right there. You can eventually get those off. Once again, I removed all the connectors off of the throttle on both sides. I also took off these, backed off these clamps here and here, and backed them off so I could pop these little hoses off of the piece that I just showed previous. And while I was taking the carburetor off, there was also a bolt here on top and there that I took off that allowed this to maneuver a little bit and wiggle around a little bit. What else do we got? Let me just pop this throttle up in here a little bit and put it over here on top of the air filter. While I was trying to get the carburetor out, there's a nut that's on the outside here. I took the nut off, and then there's a bolt that's sticking through here, and that was holding the carburetor on. So what I had to do is I bent this metal piece back a little bit, enough to get the bolt out of the way out of the carburetor and stuff. And let's see, where is that? This is kind of what the bolt looked like. There's a nut in the bolt that comes out. So once you pull that piece out, then the carburetor can come out. From there you can see also I've got all my electrical connectors that I need to put back on eventually. I popped this off of the top of the I think that was off the air filter piece, so I need to put that back on. And the hardest part of the whole job, and before you do really any of this work, and you're playing around with the radiator, you need to make sure you're working on a nice cool engine. And you come over here to this reserve tank and let all the pressure out of the system. And in my case, I was a little bit low on coolant and stuff, so make sure that's the first thing you want to do, is just get all the pressure out of the system. And then when you come over on these bigger hoses right here and you back off that metal clamp, you'll get antifreeze dripping down. So if you put a bucket underneath your vehicle, you'll be able to catch that. And then there's also antifreeze that will come out of these two nipples areas. Eventually you'll get down here where the thermostat is inside of this little chamber, and the first bolt on the top comes out. 13 millimeter comes out very easily, but the second one's very tight in there, and this is the tool I went and got down at Harbor Freight. Works very well, and it can fit in there and get that bottom bolt out nicely. This guy over here, it could not. And you know, I tried some sockets and ratchets and stuff, and it was just too tight to get those in there. And then here's the old thermostat that came out pretty easily, and here's the new one. It looks like the seal's a little bit thicker on the new one, which is good. And then this I got down at Advanced Auto. So that's kind of what it's looking like disassembled. And I am going to put the thermostat back in there and bolt that back on and get everything reassembled, and hopefully there's not going to be any more leaks that I'm having. It basically I had a super slow leak where the radiator fluid, after a month's period of time, you need to add some more in there. Eventually it got pretty bad the other day, so I discovered that the dripping was coming over on the side of the engine. So we're going to try to take care of it with this thermostat replacement. Thanks.